Hey, Redcasters, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Go Big Red. Let's move on to the offensive line, and this will be the final offensive group that we're going to talk about. After this is done, we're going to do a 2-minute intermission there. So anyone that's watching right now, if you have a question, an offensive question that you want to have asked, put it in there into the comments right now. Boomer, you get to pick the top offensive question that you want to ask, and we'll ask it right after the offensive line, right before we go into the intermission. But offensive line, pretty much almost everyone's back here. I mean, we're looking at, again, Ben Hart's kind of right there with Ramir Johnson. I think he's been here 7 years, and he's listed as a junior. 6'9", 315. Turner Corcoran, 6'6", 310. Nuuli, 6'4", 315. Junior. Piper, and they love Piper. They're going to give him a single-digit number. Of course, they can't do that, but that's how much they think of him. 6'3", 305. Ben Scott, junior, 6'5", 305. So these other positions where we've had a whole bunch of young dudes, not at the O-line. A bunch of guys coming back. Lutovsky's in his third year, 6'6", 325. There's Prohaska, sophomore, 6'10", 325. He can stay healthy. Let's just stay on the left column here. Mike, I'll start with you. Let's just stay on the left column. The right column's all redshirt freshmen and freshmen. I mean, what are your thoughts looking at the left there?
Well, with Teddy out, before the season, you would have said, the starting offensive line would probably have been Teddy at left tackle, Turner at left guard, Ben Scott at center, Nori at right guard, and then Ben Hart at right tackle. But with Teddy out, it kind of enhances that role for Ethan Piper, who was sent to Big Ten Media Days and is now getting the single digit recognition. So that was odd hearing that, because I would assume that Nori was going to be playing over him. So, but with Teddy out, maybe it's a blessing in disguise for a guy like Ethan Piper. But a lot of question marks on offensive line. They're going to dictate how well this team plays this year. Everything obviously starts in the trenches, and they've got a lot of reps, a lot of experience on that offensive line. So hopefully switching from a air raid scheme under Mark Whipple to a power run team in what Matt Rule wants to do, maybe this offensive line can get a different a different way of being recognized, because right now they're just recognized as kind of like the punching bag.
Mm-hmm. So. Well, and one guy, a key component of the punching bag from previous years, some right, some wrong, Ben Hart.
Yes.
Now,
54.
A big off season of Ben Hart was that of anyone, the strength and conditioning, they were going to come in and bring more bend to these offensive linemen. They're going to reshape their bodies. That was a big component of this first off season of Rule. And we've seen that anyone that's seen video of Ben Hart, he looks different. Now they still list him at about the same weight. I wish I could change my weight and look better and be the same weight that way. Because Ben Hart, if he's still 315, and that's what he was listed last year, he at least has completely redone his body. Connor, how about with you here? Is there somebody, let's go to the right column of this. Is there somebody on the right column that you see playing a role, being, working his way up into the top 7, being a swing player, someone that's going to get on the field, in meaningful minutes?
If I had to take a pick, I can't pick one of the two.
Okay.
But I'm either picking Knudsen or Sam Sledge.
Really? Okay. Right to the true freshman there, guys.
Yeah. Those two guys look, for where they're at, they look fairly well developed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they can fit in. I think with the depth that we have on the O-line, with the injuries we've seen over the last years, you talked about, developing that bend, creating a little bit more agile players. While that's great, this last year with Rule, we've taken away the requirement for those players to wear knee braces, which again lends to that agility, but does lend to maybe a little bit being more injury prone. I see Knudsen and Sledge kind of fitting into those roles pretty well in case that happens. But those two, I think, are probably the best fits, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they gave them the option, so they can still wear them if they want. But but the option,
it's no longer a requirement.
It's not required, to your point there. Yeah, Gotula, Kyle Gotula is a guy that's been here all off season too. What about a guy like Tyler Knack? He didn't get here until post spring. But transfer guy from Utah, obviously Jacob Hood, another Georgia guy, 6'8", 350. No one's questioning the size of these guys, but we've heard plenty of questions about them. Do you see anyone from that Hood, Jenkins, Knack group that you see kind of getting in there and getting some meaningful snaps.
Well, give me anybody that comes from Utah. Utah understands. Utah gets it, man. They play some bully ball, so give me anybody that's kind of been rocking that. But I mean, look, ultimately here at NBNR, the ultimate famous line from our man Jared is figure it out.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. Like, enough. If Matt Rule walks in here and he says, look, the offensive line is the number one key piece to success. The defensive line is the key piece to success. Figure it out.
Win the trenches. Dave, I'm going to give you the final word on this. I think it's pretty easy to say we know game one. We went down left to right. Left tackle is going to be Corcoran for this game. We know that left guard's going to be, I guess, Piper. Or is
Turner, I think, right?
Turner would
Turner's
be
left tackle. Yep.
Piper would be left guard.
Yep.
Scott's at center.
Yep.
Nuuli's right guard. Ben Hart's right tackle. But they also said that they think that Prohaska could be back as early as the second game. So if Prohaska's back the second game, and let's just assume for a second he's starting left tackle, what do you think happens then? What does Corcoran take over one of the guard spots? Do we just have a swing tackle? I mean, what do you think happens then? It's a good problem.
Yeah, that'd be my presumption that Turner slides in and probably Piper becomes your sixth man. He rotates with Latovsky as 7. I mean, I think it makes the most sense. Now, I mean, I would also say they're probably going to try to ease Teddy back in as much as possible, considering his injury history, right? So if you don't think you need him against Colorado, I have no idea what Colorado's defensive line looks like, but I do know their team pictures, they tend to on the small side, so maybe they don't need a 6'10", 325-pound tackle against their 5'11" ends. I don't know.
So maybe Corcoran stays at left tackle, and
so maybe you let Teddy, and then if you can get through Colorado, then you can get through the next two non-cons, and you can have Teddy fully healthy. By the time Michigan gets there, right? I mean, you might want to be able to just play that out a little bit. So I do have a trivia question that Rob should get, but he might not. Who is the tallest person ever in the NFL? Because it just prompted me, like, that 6'10" sticks out, right? I mean, like 6'9", that's big, but 6'10". Ed Too Tall Jones was 6'9", so Teddy Prohaska taller than Ed Too Tall Jones.
I don't know.
It has to be a Raider if you're asking Rob.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God! Now of course you would do that. I was gonna say, I mean, I met Lincoln Kennedy once in person, and that guy had hands so big he could hold like 6 softballs, and he was tall, but I don't think he was 6'9" or 6'10". I know who it is. I know who it is. He blocked a field goal against the Broncos to win the game for the Raiders. It was. Oh, I hate you for this.
What year was this, Rob?
It was in probably like 2006 or 2007. No. Okay.
Nope.
Richard Sligh, S-L-I-G-H, Dick Sligh.
Interesting.
Was a defensive tackle for the Oakland Raiders.
I was thinking of a completely different guy. What was his name? God, now I can't remember.
He played for the Raiders in the Super Bowl. So you can give him that. But 7 foot, only 7-footer. Current tallest player is Dan Skipper, offensive lineman for the Pats. He's 6'10", so very few 6'10" and above. So if Teddy would ever make the NFL, he would be one of the tallest NFL players of all time.